But joining me now to go through the top stories of the day is the Australian's chief political correspondent, Geoff Chambers. Geoff, thank you very much for joining me. Lots to cover out of Parliament today. Parliament returned. Look, first the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, was playing the blame game, dodging questions about the voice and his own inconsistencies on the proposal. Let's have a look.
In May, the Prime Minister said that treaty and truth-telling are, quote, very much part of the next phase. And one of the things that a voice would be able to do is talk about Makarrata, the need for agreement-making and coming together after a conflict, end quote. Why did this tricky Prime Minister say one thing to one group of Australians and completely the opposite to another?
What I said on Ben Fordham, Mr Speaker, was that the referendum isn't about treaty.
It's a point of order on relevance, Mr Speaker. There was no T-shirt in the question. There was no quote from me in the question. There were your own words, Prime Minister, in the question and your own contradiction about treaty or no treaty.
I'm speaking about what this referendum is about. And it strikes me that the opponents of the referendum, those who are advocating a no vote, want to talk about everything but what the question is about.
Geoff, how did the Prime Minister handle these questions in Parliament today?
Oh, look, from the Anthony Albanese's perspective and the Yes campaign, they are firmly focused now on trying to make this a real singular issue, which is about constitutional recognition. But let's wind back the clock a little bit, Sharri, and we know that the Labor government has accepted the Uluru Statement from the heart in full, and the steps there are very clear. It's voice, truth, treaty, truth-telling. And if we go back to the October budget, after they'd won the election, $5.8 million was allocated to commence work on a Makarrata commission. In February, Linda Burney said that she would unveil details very soon, within weeks, of what that Makarrata commission would look like. And then at May budget estimates, we found out that $900,000 of the $5.8 million had already been spent towards setting up a Makarrata commission. So we're hearing constantly from prominent Yes campaigners that very much Makarrata, treaty and truth-telling absolutely, very swiftly follows the adoption of a voice.
Yeah, and Chris Mitchell had an excellent column on this all today in The Australian.